Hola everyone, JB Throws here back with another video. Today, we talk about Frontier City in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. If you remember, earlier last year, I made a video called 10 Hidden Secrets You Probably Didn't Know About at Six Flags Over Texas. In that video, I showed all the Easter eggs and references around the park, and showed where they're located and what they are. Apparently though, all of you liked that video a lot, and you wanted to see more of it. So since you guys really liked the video, I decided to make another one, but this time on Frontier City. The reason why is because Frontier City is older than Six Flags Over Texas, and because it's older, it probably has more hidden secrets, and after looking for them all over the park, I found a pretty good amount. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 hidden secrets and references you probably didn't know about at Frontier City. But before I start the video, I would like to say, if you're new here and you like my videos and content, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to know when new videos come out on my channel. 87.9% of you who watch my content aren't subscribed, and it would really help a ton if you did. And thank you to those who have subscribed to my channel. It really means a lot. Right now I'm at 730 subscribers, and I really came a long way. So thank you to all of you who made that possible. But anyways, let's get into today's video. As I was saying before, Frontier City is more than just a theme park. It has a great collection of rides despite its size, and overall it gives a great experience. But little did you know, the park is complete with many hidden secrets all over. And so in today's video, I'm going to list 10 of them and explain what they are. Also, the list is in no particular order. It's just listing the 10 hidden secrets. But anyways, let's get into the first hidden secret. When you first enter Frontier City, you may have noticed the amazing theming that this little theme park has. And while it is a standard theme of the Wild West, Frontier City still did a very good job with it, especially with how many details it has. But what if I told you that a piece of theming is actually a huge reference to the creator of Frontier City? When you first enter the park, you'll go into the main plaza, complete with some western theming on the sides of you, like fake hotels, sheriff offices, and more. But in one particular building, there's a reference to the creator of Frontier City, James C. Berg. Berg is the one responsible for creating this amazing theme park, so of course there had to be one reference to him in the park. When entering the main plaza of Frontier City, you may have encountered a big yellow building that looks like a hotel. Now while some may disregard this as theming, it's actually a reference to the creator of Frontier City, James C. Berg. If you look on the first floor, next to the left window, there's a framed picture, and in that picture is James C. Berg, specifically where he's showing off the designs he made for Frontier City, before it was made in 1958. Now while the frame is really small, and most people miss it, it's still a great reference, because James C. Berg did a really good job creating this park, and without him, Frontier City wouldn't even exist. So in result, this is a great small reference. So next time you're walking in the main plaza of Frontier City, be sure to check out this yellow building and see an amazing picture of James C. Berg. Frontier City has a great variety of rides, ranging from flat rides to water rides to extreme roller coasters. But one ride every theme park needs is a great dark ride, and Frontier City actually has one by the name of Quickdraw. Quickdraw is a Sally Corporation dark ride, themed to, of course, the Wild West. It would take you on a fun adventure, shooting targets all over a western town, complete with fun animatronics and a really creative story. Now sure, it's a standard dark ride, and the ride itself just serves its purpose. But little did you know, the ride is a huge reference to Frontier City's past. Now you may be wondering, how could Quickdraw be a reference to Frontier City's past? Well, let me explain. When going into Quickdraw, while waiting in the queue, you may have noticed that the ride itself takes place inside a fake mountain. And for a ride themed to the Wild West, this seems normal, and you may have thought that they put this theme for the ride. But actually, that facade has been there for a very long time, all the way since 1964. How? Well, before Quickdraw was made in 2008, back in 1964, a different ride took the spot of Quickdraw, by the name of the 89er Ghost Mine. The ride was an indoor dark ride that followed the story of a haunted mine. Because of the ride being inside a mine, the design of the ride was a mountain, because most mines take place in a mountain or underground. So, to stay true to the Western theme, and what underground mines really look like, they specifically designed a man-made mountain to add more theming to the ride, as well as add a more immersive experience. In result, it worked, and it worked good. The ride had amazing theming, and was a great success. But after the ride closed down, the facade on the outside stayed abandoned. So skip to 2008, and the mountain facade has remained unused. But after deciding to add a new dark ride to the park, to replace the 89er Ghost Mine, instead of just tearing down the whole entire building, which could be expensive, Frontier City decided to keep the facade to fit in with the theming of the new dark ride. And with that, Quickdraw opened to the public, complete with the same facade as the 89er Ghost Mine. And with the ride still operating to this day, the facade has remained unchanged for all these years, and a piece of Frontier City history still remains. So next time you ride Quickdraw, be sure to check out the amazing piece of history that still lives on. Diamondback is an aerial shuttle loop coaster that is one of the highlight coasters of Frontier City. The coaster would launch you at 50 miles per hour before dropping you into a single loop, and then going backwards to do it all over again. It's pretty much a straight track version of a Vekoma boomerang, and even though the layout is very generic and the ride is very old, it's still very fun, as it gives some pretty good airtime. But one of the most popular complaints that Diamondback always gets is that it feels like it's missing something. I mean, it's obvious since this coaster is very short, and it's pretty much a fancy straight track. But little did you know, in the past, Diamondback had way more to offer. In fact, it dueled. Now you may be super confused and be wondering, how did Diamondback duel? It never dueled in Frontier City's history. Well, I wasn't referring to Frontier City. In fact, I was referring to Six Flags Great Adventure. Believe it or not, Diamondback did not originate in Frontier City. It actually first opened in Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey, but it looked very different than it does now. Back then, Diamondback was originally named Lightning Loops, and was considered a dueling coaster, because unlike now, there was two aerial shuttle loop coasters that would interlock in the middle with the two loops, and even though they were separate, it was kind of a dueling coaster. Due to the dueling aspect, the ride became very popular, even though the layout was very simple. But after an accident that killed a teen, the ride became very unpopular, and because of this unpopularity, the ride closed down. When the ride closed down, it became split apart, with the top track getting sent over to Adventure World, which is now known as Six Flags America, and the bottom track shifted over to Frontier City. The one in Six Flags America eventually closed, and the only remnant of Lightning Loops is Diamondback, which is still operating to this day. Even though the ride is pretty simple, its crazy history and the fact that it's still alive is a great hidden secret, since not everyone knows the history of Diamondback. So next time you're riding Diamondback, just remember that it used to duel, and even though it's very generic now, it still deserves to be called a good ride. Like most theme parks, Frontier City has a Ferris wheel, by the name of the Grand Centennial Ferris wheel. The ride is pretty simple, it does what a Ferris wheel is supposed to do. But what makes it great is that it provides an opportunity to see a great view of the entire park, as well as giving a gentle attraction, which is needed in a theme park. But like most rides of Frontier City, it has more than what meets the eye. In fact, the Grand Centennial Ferris wheel is another hidden secret. This hidden secret isn't located on the ride itself, it's actually in the exit. Once you get off from riding, you'll go down a ramp from the exit. This ramp leads right under the Ferris wheel. And when walking, you might have noticed this thing on the wall. On the wall, there's an arrow that points down into a hole that says look. Now don't worry, it's not sketchy. It's actually the hidden secret. If you look in the hole, you'll see a beaver. Why a beaver? Well, there's lots of reasons, and there's no definite answer. The beaver could just be a regular reference to the animals that are located in Oklahoma, because they do have animals like that, especially beavers. It could also be a reference to Bucky the Beaver from the toothpaste commercial, but that's highly doubtful. Or it could be a reference to the other Bucky the Beaver, who is the mascot of the park in Timbertown, Frontier City's kids area. And it could be that Bucky, since the beaver in the wall looks pretty similar to what the logo of Bucky's Whistle Stop Depot looks like. But either way, the beaver is a great hidden secret for this Ferris wheel, since not many people know about it and they usually walk right past it. So after you ride the Ferris wheel, be sure to look through the peephole and see Mr. Bucky the Beaver. Next up, we head on over to Dodgem, the bumper cars attraction of Frontier City. The ride itself is really fun, but for a bumper cars ride, it has some pretty good theming. The theming is somewhat of a Native American Western theme, of course, since the whole theme of Frontier City is Western. But actually, one specific part of the theme has a reference to an old attraction of Frontier City. I'm specifically talking about the arrows at the exit of the ride. When you exit out, there's some shields on the wall, with of course a buffalo on there, since the state animal of Oklahoma is a buffalo. But next to that is these two arrows pointing up to the sky. They might seem part of the theme, but actually it's a huge reference to the old ride of Frontier City, the Sky Ride. The Sky Ride was a standard transportation attraction, where riders would sit in a gondola that would go across a cable to take you to a different part of the park. One notable thing that the Sky Ride had was this arrow. It was a really tall arrow that connected the cables across the park. The reason why it was there was to keep up with the theme of Western in it, and it looked really good. But then the ride went defunct, and in the same location where the Sky Ride was, Dodgem took its place. So to give an Easter egg to that amazing attraction, Frontier City specifically designed Dodgem to have two arrows just like the Sky Ride, and those two arrows at the exit is a reminder that the ride used to exist there. And it's actually a good Easter egg, and a great way to pay homage to such a classic attraction. But in result, next time you're at the exit of Dodgem, take a look at those awesome arrows, and just imagine the cool looking Sky Ride that used to be there. While in Frontier City, you may have noticed this ride that looks like a zip line that shoots riders across the park. This ride is actually part of Frontier City's upcharge attractions, called Soaring Eagle. The ride is an extremely fun attraction that pulls riders up 100 feet before launching them down at a very fast pace. Plus the fact that the only restraint is a seatbelt makes it more extreme. But this ride is also a hidden secret in disguise. What am I referring to? Well, if you look at this white tower at the back of Soaring Eagle, this is the support that holds the cable to launch Soaring Eagle back and forth. Without it, the ride wouldn't work. This white tower also serves a different purpose, specifically holding up the Sky Ride. Yup, a second reference to the Sky Ride. The same tower used for Soaring Eagle is the same tower used for supports for the Sky Ride. Back when the ride got dismantled, this was the only tower remaining, and Frontier City put it to good use. Overall, this is a great way for recycling old attractions, which also makes for a great hidden secret. Silver Bullet at Frontier City is one of the park's icons. This ride is a Schwarzkopf coaster, specifically the smaller model called a looping star, that only contains one loop and just goes in circles. Even though the ride layout is pretty simple, and even though the ride is old, it still packs a thrilling punch, and it's a really great ride. But not everyone knows that Silver Bullet actually has a hidden secret. If you sit on any row that's not the front, you'll definitely get a front view of the headrest of the seats. And while looking at the headrest, you may have noticed this weird logo that looks like Six Flags' logo. And it might seem normal since of course Six Flags owns this park. But actually that's a hidden secret because Six Flags did not own Silver Bullet when it first opened. So where did the logo come from? Well, believe it or not all of Silver Bullet's trains are Silver Bullet's trains. Back in 1989, a coaster similar to Silver Bullet existed by the name of Viper. This coaster was the exact same model as Silver Bullet. In fact, it was a clone. The only difference is that this coaster was located in Six Flags Astroworld in Houston, Texas. But then, in 2005, when Six Flags Astroworld got destroyed, majority of the rides went defunct, and some of them got scrapped. One of the rides to get scrapped was of course Viper. But to put use of its parts, Six Flags used the trains from Viper and shipped them over to Frontier City, and in turn, they used them for some of their trains for Silver Bullet. They repainted them to look exactly like the ride, but one way to notice the difference is that the trains from Viper have a logo of Six Flags on the back of their headrests. So next time you ride Silver Bullet not in the front row, and there's a Six Flags logo on the headrest, you're most likely riding the trains from Viper from Six Flags Astroworld. And in turn, the experience of Viper still lives on, since the coaster is pretty much the same. And overall, this is a great way to revive the legacy of Viper. While in Frontier City, you may have noticed a big building right next to Soaring Eagle Zipline, Mystery River Log Flume, and Gunslinger. On the outside, it looks like a fake hotel, with the name Hotel Bristol, and it seems like another piece of theming for the western theme of Frontier City. But actually, it's not even theming, it's an abandoned indoor coaster. Yup, that place is actually a roller coaster inside. If you don't believe me, there's actually reference to it outside. On the side facing Soaring Eagle zipline, there's a silo that says Nightmare Mining. The name of this coaster was Nightmare Mine Roller Coaster, and was of course themed to a mine train. But what makes this a hidden secret is that the coaster is actually still inside to this day. It never left. Where's the proof? Well, if you're in the queue line for Mr. River Log Flume, or if you're in that area generally, you can actually see a piece of track from Nightmare Mine still sticking out of the ride. The reason why is because during the ride, the coaster would come out during a quick segment, before going back into the building. And to prove that's actually a piece of coaster track, the coaster itself was an SDC Galaxy, basically like a mine train. Here's some footage of what the coaster looks like on the outside. Now look at the track, and then look at the piece of track that's sticking out of Nightmare Mine. It's the same. It might not be the whole track that's in there, but at least the outdoor segment is still there to this day. And not many people know it's actually an abandoned roller coaster. And it's actually a really cool hidden secret. When you go to theme parks, you think of rides, food, and souvenirs. And Frontier City doesn't shy away from selling a lot of souvenirs. But, believe it or not, one souvenir in Frontier City is actually a hidden secret to a past attraction. If you go into the main store, you'll see snow globes for sale. I mean, they're pretty obvious, and they're standard in a theme park. But Frontier City's snow globe is a little bit special. On the sides, you'll see the collection of all the rides of Frontier City, as well as the park logo. But then you'll see a ride you've never seen, and that's the Dragon Ride. At the moment, there's no Dragon Ride in Frontier City, but there was. Back then, there used to be a kiddie attraction by the name of Flying Dragons. It was a standard kiddie attraction, but it was a big part of Frontier City history. And after it went defunct, there was no sign of it anywhere. Until now, there's a souvenir of a snow globe, and the dragon still lives on the side of it. Overall, even though it's a small detail and a small Easter egg, it's still a great reference to Frontier City's past. Last but not least, we head into the final hidden secret, this time at Wildcat. Wildcat is a PTC wooden coaster at Frontier City, and despite its size, it's a very good coaster, and in my opinion is very underrated. But it also has a huge hidden secret about its origins. Have you ever wondered where it got its name? Well, what if I told you 6th graders named Wildcat? You wouldn't believe me, would you? But in fact, it's 100% true. While boarding Wildcat, you'll probably notice a plaque next to the wall where you put all your loose articles. Most people walk right past it and don't read it, but if you do, it tells you the whole entire story of how Wildcat got its name. To summarize the story, back in 1990, Frontier City finished building their wooden coaster, but they still haven't decided on a name. So, to be unique, they went to Deer Creek Middle School in Oklahoma and made a Name the Coaster contest. Then one 6th grade class came up with the name Wildcat. The reason why is because since the coaster goes in the forest at the end, it makes them think of an animal going around there. Plus, wildcats do exist in Oklahoma. In result, Frontier City really enjoyed the name, so they named the coaster Wildcat. And then to honor them, they created a plaque and kept it in the station all that time. And Wildcat still remains the name for this coaster even now. Overall, this is a crazy hidden secret even I didn't know about, and it really blew my mind. But something to take away from this is that those 6th graders are extremely lucky. And next time someone complains about the name for the ride, just blame the 6th graders. But anyways, those are 10 hidden secrets you probably didn't know about at Frontier City. I bet there's more, and if you know more, be sure to comment them down below. But what did you think? What was your favorite hidden secret? And which one blew your mind the most? Anyways, thank you for watching. This is JV Thrills, signing out.